everyone, welcome back to another tanning trials video on my channel. So in this week's review, we're going to be talking about my experience testing out the St.Tropez x Ashley Graham collab. Now the two have come together to create the limited edition Ultimate Glow Kit. I am so excited to be talking to you about this today. Before we get into the video though, I do need to disclose that the products were very kindly gifted to me. However, this video is not sponsored, but because of all the laws and legislations around gifting and stuff, I do still need to say this video is an ad. But because this video is not sponsored, it still means I can be as honest as I like and say whatever I need to. But you guys know on this channel, honesty is the best policy, and I will tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Let's get into it. Now this is what the Ultimate Glow Kit comes in, this super cute and just kind of iconic packaging. I love the black and white contrast on there, very simple but very effective. So inside this lovely tube you do actually get these two items. So this is the whipped tanning mousse, and this is also the mitt that it comes with. Just to show you quickly guys as well, how cool is this? Because it is actually a limited edition set, they have actually put this special print on there, which I think is so cool. Now as I always do, I'm going to show you a couple of clips on the screen of what my skin looks like before I started tanning. Of course I have already at this point prepped my skin, so exfoliated, shaved and moisturized 24 hours before applying tan. So first of all, what they recommend with the whipped tanning mousse is that you shake it really well before applying it. So that is exactly what I did, and then I squirted out the mousse onto the tanning mitt. The consistency was really nice and thick, it was creamy looking as well, which is always amazing because you want that full coverage on your body, you don't want any streaks left over. There's nothing worse than a streaky tan. Also as well, just from applying the first few swipes, the guide layer was unbelievable. I don't know why, it always surprises me when I see the guide layer against my natural skin. I'm like, oh my goodness, and this was no different. And just from applying the first few swipes of tan, I could definitely see that the guide layer was really deep. It was a nice warm ready undertone, which is so beautiful. It comes out really nice and glowy from past experiences, so I was so happy about that. Also, from just applying the first few swipes, the mitt felt unbelievably smooth. It was really nice and left my tan completely streak free. They also have as well inside the mitt a nice thick layer of foam just to really help protect your hands from any tan seeping through. But spoiler alert, there is none of that going on right here. So also because they've actually tanned twice now, I can confirm that the mitt does wash really well. Sometimes when you machine wash tanning mitts, it can kind of ruin the lining, but luckily with this one, as you can see, it is absolutely fine, still intact. As I really got into my tanning routine and started applying it to the rest of my body, I noticed that the tan had a really nice but light scent to it. I believe that Ashley did kind of work with St.Tropez to pick this scent specifically. It's a 12 out of 10 for me because I absolutely love lighter scents when it comes to tan. I don't really like too heavily fragranced tanning formulas, so this was right up my street. Like I mentioned before, the guide layer was really nice and deep, which helped so much when it came to knowing where you've applied tan and where you haven't. Also meant that there wasn't any patching or any streaking anywhere. Another thing I noticed whilst I was applying tan to my body was how ridiculously quickly the tan actually dried. It was touch dry so quickly. I was honestly the most shocked I've ever been. It was also completely bone dry in my problem areas too, which is unheard of. So under my neck here, also in the creasing of my arms and behind my knees, completely dry. That is unheard of for me. I waited no more than 5 minutes after I finished my tanning routine to put my clothes back on. On the bottle for the tanning mousse, it recommends that you should leave it to develop for 4 to 8 hours, which is great for me because I love sleeping overnight in my tan to really get the most out of it, because they say the longer you leave it for, the more deep and glowy your tan is. Obviously, if you do prefer to have a lighter tan, you can actually wash it off from as little as an hour after putting it on. So like I said, slept in it overnight and woke up in the morning, looked at my sheets, and there was nothing, nothing on there. And I have light grey duvet covers and pink bed sheets, nothing on there. Even on my clothes, there was the most tiniest amount of products that had come off of my skin. It was ridiculous. I've never had so little come off my body. Before I washed it off, I felt like my skin was completely dry. There was no stickiness or anything, even after a full night's sleep. Also, my skin didn't feel over dry, because one of the problems when it does come to tans that dry down ultra dry, that they do then dry out your skin completely and leave it a little bit more on the flaky side. Didn't do that. I washed off the tan, the guide layer rinsed off really beautifully, and I just got out just feeling like a new woman. I'm very much a firm believer of, if you feel like your life isn't going quite the way you want it to, put on some fake tan and you'll feel 100 times better. And on this occasion, it was literally no different. I just patted down my skin as I normally would and then moisturised after I got out of the shower. So the following day after I initially applied the tan, I noticed that as I was going through my day-to-day that there wasn't any of that lingering like biscuity fake tan smell you can sometimes get. It's honestly the worst thing in the world when you're trotting around and you're like, I literally smell of biscuits. Also as well, I noticed my skin was really nice and hydrated. I believe that they have actually included some really nice skincare into the formula. Things like hyaluronic acid to help retain the moisture, as well as rosehip oil and vitamin E, which is really great for your skin too. So I'll pop on the screen what my skin looked like the day after I applied the tan. I'll do a side by side so you can see the difference and really compare the two. So after just over 8 hours of having this tan on my skin, it looked really natural. Whenever I leave my tan on for more than 8 hours, just because I do like a good sleep, sometimes it can happen that I sleep for longer than 8 hours, but because of that I do sometimes worry that the tan is gonna kind of like overdevelop and make me look a little bit orangey. But as you will see, it looks so natural, so glowy. It didn't cling to any parts of my body, like the dry places. My hands, like I showed you, were literally perfect. And I'm gonna be honest, I have actually tested out this tan twice now. This is the second time I've applied it to my body. I've actually been testing it over the last 2 weeks just because I really wanted to see how the tan lasted over a week, and I have to say I was very impressed. Obviously, as it would normally do, your tan starts to fade over the week. Even though it was obvious that it was fading, it still faded like evenly. There was no patching, no tiger bread, like no cracking of the skin. Also, another thing that I was so excited about was the fact that it didn't clog my pores. My legs literally looked smooth, like I'd been out in the sun and tanned rather than fake tanned. Some of you guys will know from watching my past videos that I do have a real problem with tan clogging my pores. Like, the thicker the formula on the whole, the more likely it is to clog my pores. Like, this tanning mousse is a very thick and whipped formula, and I was very worried that I was going to come away like chest covered in clogged pores, legs covered in clogged pores, neck covered in clogged pores. It did not do that. Look, I'll even show you. Not one clogged pore in sight. And I am so hyped about it. As well, because the formula didn't clog the pores on the rest of my body, I think I may even be brave enough next time to apply it to my face and see how that goes. I'm really worried that because this product is limited edition, that I'm gonna at some point not be able to buy it anymore, and then I'm gonna have to go back to having clogged pores on my tanned legs. But yes, that was my thoughts on the St.Tropez x Ashley Graham Ultimate Glow collab. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up so I know. It really does help me out a lot. I'll also leave a link to this collab in the description for if you guys want to pick it up for yourself, along with my social media. So if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on those: Instagram, Twitter and TikTok, all of those. Also, if you want to see more tanning videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications to be told every time I post. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay safe, stay indoors as much as possible, and I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye!